Of the deaths in Prince George's, for which the victim's race ethnicity was reported, 130 were African American, 15 Latino, and 19 were white. And this is why I like for people to report the data accurately, because at the beginning of this article it said blacks and Latinos. But when you look at the actual number, 130 versus 15, stop saying that like we're all just caught in the pickle. We built the country. We're all just not caught in the pickle anyway. But you get to see the differences. This is why people of color is just a mask for who we are as ADOS, as a bottom caste. So Jordan, the supermarket worker, right? Remember her? She said her mother, Zenobia Shepherd, warned her about the risk. But remember, this is the one with cognitive disabilities, right? Her mother, Zenobia Shepherd, warned her about the risk of the pandemic. But she said Jordan probably did not fully understand. She said, "Mommy, I'm going to work because no one else is going to help the senior citizens get their groceries." That's a beautiful kid right there. That's a beautiful kid right there. And even if we go back to the numbers in terms of who makes what, I want you to look at this number right here. Look at this 148,800. Look at this 54,800. Understand something when we talk about this. Only 5% of black households make more than 112. So half of that county is in the top 5% of black incomes. But understand also the income is not wealth, right? So let's keep going. Because you have to put this in the context. How many of us have been told, well, Prince George's County is a wealthy county? Wealth and income are two different things. You have the highest, from what I just read, right? The incomes. That's not wealth. And that's why whenever something happens, whether it's a housing crisis or COVID, you don't have what your white neighbor has in the county next door. You don't have it. You know why? You don't have wealth. You don't have everything that comes with wealth. You don't have the social capital that comes with wealth as well. You have none of it because you're not wealthy and you never were. As we think about Prince George's County, let's do another thing. Because that's just about, this is not a wealthy county. They don't have the wealth. They don't have wealth. This is not a wealth. They have higher income than most of us Negroes. That's not wealth. I just told you how they fare in terms of white America. Okay, fine. They also don't have, when you have wealth, you have a degree of social capital. So there's this article, one rich New York hospital got Warren Buffett's help. And this one got duct tape, right? Social capital also means what you're able to call on and who you're able to call on in times of need. So this Manhattan hospital, Warren Buffett, Goldman Sachs partner fly in 130K mass for Mount Sinai. You're able to call on, this real billionaire, not these little fake Negro billionaires we always call billionaires, these single digit billionaires, or what I call them. Antonio calls them shoelace billionaires. I call them rocket booster billionaires because you're not a billionaire without white capital. So they put the boosters on your back and let you go as far as they need you to go to be social engineering or whatever. That's what it is. But that's not who these people are. See, you can get Michael Bloomberg's money. Remember we talked about when he gave that money away? That's not you can get that money. People say, well, we could do the same thing. No, we can't. We ain't got nobody that can give $1 billion. That would be Oprah giving her all of her worth and a bunch of people's other worth. Now, can't one of our Negro billionaires give $1.8 billion to a college? That's their whole worth. They might not have that. I don't think some of these people are actually true billionaires. A lot of people we call billionaires, I don't think they got 20 million liquid, but whatever. When you are part of what you're a part of, right? When you are part of you have social capital and you're really a part of the wealth class, you can count on the people who are also a member of that to flow money back into the group. Instead, we have this. We have Prince George's County, which went through what it went through. This is COVID is just one thing. See, when everybody can just kick you back all the time. See, we have this idea that no. This is affecting everybody. No, it's not. If you are wealthy in this crisis, you're probably going to be more wealthy after. If you're poor in this crisis, which we are, you're going to be poorer after. And this is why you always see our community take one little teeny step forward and get kicked in the chest every time, because we never had real wealth. Which means we never have an elite or a super elite to come down and reach out and grab us and snatch us out the fire. Because we don't have it. These little single digit fraud billionaires, rocket booster billionaires, that's not it. Look at what happened to this. We talk about negative equity. Equity is supposed to have equity in your home. You can take money out of it. You can build on it. That what happened? What happened during the crisis? During the housing crisis to PG County and all black counties? Well, you don't got that. What Jennifer and Fred Bryant owe on their Prince George's County home, $560,000, estimated value, $480,000. What you gonna pull out of that? Supposed to be a source of wealth, your home? No, not if you're in the ADOS neighborhood. That's the history of redlining and all of that. And you fall right back in because the people target you with subprime loans and all kind of stuff. And because you're in the ADOS neighborhood in general, because of the history of redlining, don't nobody want to live there. It just don't have the same value. You understand, right? The largest donation to Howard University was $10 million. $10 million gift from the Karsh family foundation last month. This is an older article. The STEM scholars at Howard will be able to support more students. The program was previously called the Bison STEM Scholars Program. According to David Bennett, Howard University Vice President of Development, it is the largest gift given by any living individual in the institution's history. It came about a month after the university announced what previously tied for the largest individual gift, $4 million from the Hopper Dean Foundation. Now, understand, compare that. I want you to compare what you just heard about this $10 million donation to Howard. Let's see it one more time for the people in the back. This $1.8 billion gift. Don't say, well, it's different. It's a start. No, your competition is this $1 billion gift. How can the school you in, my alma mater, compete when your highest gift is $10 million and Bloomberg's out here throwing $1 billion around? You can't. Something's got to give. And when we talk about something's got to give, that's why we always talk about reparations. Reparations is that something that has to give. I want you to tell me how else you're competing against Bloomberg. You don't even have a house that's not underwater. Right? Isn't that what we just said? About what happened to us? Right? And so now we get to the so if we understand Buffett gave that money to the hospital. And like we're still struggling in all the hospitals. And I put this in the newsletter on Sunday, so you already seen this, but bear with me if you have. If Buffett gave that money to the hospital and we still don't have the hospitals and we duct taping and trying to figure stuff out, tell me why this should ever have mattered. Why would Jay-Z having a milkshake with this real billionaire ever have mattered to us? I remember when this came out, everybody celebrated this like something really happened, like we hit the lottery. Why did that matter? Why did this matter? I don't care about this old billionaire having a milkshake with Jay-Z. These two men are not the same. And y'all are so desperate. So many of us so desperate to see them as the same, to see him as some type of a business mind. And you don't understand what Buffett is doing or what he is doing. You don't understand that this is social engineering. The whole point of this whole thing is to make you believe that Jay-Z has made it to the level of Buffett and you can make it too. That's social engineering. So what happens is you don't understand Kanye and you don't understand, well, why did Jay-Z? Now mind you, remember when Jay-Z said he's charity. He done tried to switch that up now because he put his foot in his mouth. He said my presence is charity. Meanwhile, other people out here giving real charity. That's even if, let me say this, even if Jay-Z could give it, he can't give it because you ain't got enough. Right? But instead of saying you ain't got enough and hey, they just use me, you just try to be crafty and like I'm giving you inspiration. Negroes love to say that I'm your inspiration. Shut up. I'll kick you in the back of your knee, coming around talking, I'm your inspiration. For what? Inspiration to do what? To lie to Negroes? To backbite us? To have everybody surprised when I can't believe he said what he said about Kaepernick. I'm sure is shocked. I thought Jay-Z would never do nothing like that. Who? That's his job. And so now you get back to Kanye. And people don't say, well, Kanye running around here begging to be a billionaire. Please tell me. Somebody please call me a billionaire. Please. Jay-Z out here looking like a little intern. Look at him. He look like, hey, boss man. How you doing? I love your tie. It sure is nice. And Kanye out here begging Forbes, can you please call me a billionaire? I done left 10 messages on your phone. I done called y'all and called y'all and called y'all. And I just keep sending y'all all my financials. And y'all still won't call me a billionaire. Y'all done called Jay-Z a billionaire. Up there. What about me? I got all these shoes. Well, see, that's the problem, Kanye. You don't have all these shoes. You're a Rocket Booster billionaire. Kanye West. You might make millions on top of millions selling Adidas. You will never be Adidas, and that is our problem. See, I say Rocket Booster Billionaire because what you are, if you are still a salesperson, see, you don't make the juice. Well, I own all the, see, it's not even like we own all the orange juice grows. So, you know, our billionaires are mostly in produce. We have a bunch of land, and we have a bunch of land where we do the tomatoes and we do the oranges. And we do some potatoes. So we took our farming from slavery, and we created our billionaires and multimillionaires from the produce. So we are owners, and we create, and we sell from everybody to Kroger's, to Ralph's, to restaurants. That's what we do. So we don't have those, we don't have Adidas, but we have produce. No, that's not what we are. That's what you call a different kind of billionaire. That's what will happen if we had been left alone after slavery to do our own thing. We probably would have been the best farmers. A lot of our stuff probably would have come from that, because that's what we were good at. People would have left us alone and not oppressed us and not hung us from trees and stuff. That's what would have happened, and not stolen everything from us. Yeah. But you're not even a different kind of billionaire. You are a salesperson. You are what I call a royalty billionaire too. I'm tired of hearing from royalty billionaires. You're not Buffett. Like, look at you. Like, I want to just put this up. Look at this Negro surrounded by a bunch of shoes. See, the thing is, you didn't produce none of them shoes. You don't have a factory for none of them shoes. Only thing you do, you're the salesperson. You're still popular, right? And so you've created a brand. It's kind of like even with Jordan. Jordan created a brand. That's not the same thing. People don't understand that there are levels to billionaires. Yes, he's a billionaire. Jordan is. Absolutely, from his Nike One and all that stuff. Right? Yeah, you got that. That's not Buffett. That is a personality billionaire. You're a Rocket Booster billionaire. You're a billionaire to the extent that you can. Sell this white company shoes to white people majority, and Negroes too. You are a salesperson. Stop trying to see yourself as a business person. Now let's talk about it, because it's almost like Forbes had jokes for this Negro. He don't even realize he's being made fun of. Yeezy is a complicated asset. West owns 100% of it, but is functionally tied, at least for 5+ years, based on the documents we saw, to Adidas, which produces, markets, and distributes the shoes. There's also a separate apparel division that we don't believe makes money. Last year, our sources projected the shoes would finish 2019 with revenue north of $1.5 billion. Adidas will not comment. Adidas not coming many years. I'm up with that. Then or now. Per recent conversations and internal documents, we believe the final revenue number ended up closer to $1.3 billion. Adidas produces, markets, and distributes the shoes. What if Adidas decide we don't want to do one of those things? What if they decide we don't want to do 3 of those things? What happens to Kanye? What happens to this man? It's over. It's finished. Yeah, Kawhi, somebody said in the chat. Thank you. Yeah, it's finished. If they decide they don't want to do that no more, it's finished. They are your rocket booster. They need you right now as a salesperson for the shoe, and they're going to pay you for that. They gonna pay you for that. They gonna market and have you out there with the shoe. They gonna distribute the shoe. They gonna produce the shoe. Eventually they gonna move on from the shoe, and you don't control none of that. So you gonna be finished. Stop talking to me about being a billionaire with these little shoes. This is Adidas' shoe. It ain't your shoe, Kanye. Begging Forbes. Please, Forbes. Please. Please. Don't you see? I'm a billionaire. Can't you see, Forbes? Please. Please don't be like that. And let me just read this part too before we go to close. He done said, I'm worth $3 billion. West's aggressive $3 billion self-appraisal is clearly based on the idea that the business is infinitely portable. It's not. Here's Forbes teaching Kanye about business. Taking Yeezy away from Adidas seems almost prohibitively cumbersome. What they really saying is, Kanye, you can't take this. You can't take Yeezy nowhere. It's the home is Adidas. That's where it stays. You can leave, but Yeezy don't leave. If not contractually impossible, a safer way to value it as a royalty stream, like music publishing or film residuals. What they're saying, Kanye, is that you're doing now what you've always done. You're getting royalties. You got royalties before from songs and rapping, and now you're getting royalties from shoes, sir. They are clowning you in the article that they used to mint you a billionaire. Oh, they got jokes for you. Jokes on jokes on jokes. Hold on a second. Multiples. Base data from services like royalty exchange and reports of large private transactions can range from as low as 3 for something like faddish like Cardi B's Bodak Yellow to 17 for an evergreen asset like Eddie Murphy Trading Places. They clowned you. They clowned you the whole article. They clowned you. You just got clowned, and you just got. It was a let's clown Kanye arc. He wants to be a billionaire. We're gonna let him be one, but we're gonna clown him as we do it. That's what happened. The question you should ask yourself, Kanye, is not whether or not I'm a billionaire. Why it's awful enough that you want to ask that question while people are lined up for blocks to get food because we're hungry. You're an awful person for that alone. But the question you should ask yourself is, what happens to my life? What happens to me if people don't have the money to buy these little shoes that are too expensive anyway? What happens to my status? What happens? What does Adidas do with me? Because, you're a Rocket Booster. You're a Rocket Booster billionaire. If you can't sell the shoes, if you can't sell those shoes to us, not just ADOS, I'm talking about white America. That's why you're getting a lot of this stuff from. That's not majority. If you can't sell those shoes, capital is going to throw you in the trash and do something different. And that's kind of what we are. We're talking about Great Depression right now in terms of level of unemployment. And it's not just ADOS. We get the worst of everything. But it's not just us who are laid off. What happens to you and your little duck shoes? Well, people say, well, y'all were talking about, Antonio always talk about Byron Allen was a billionaire. No, we talked about the fact that he was doing this civil rights. Yeah, that's a part of it. Because he owns the Weather Channel. That's an actual, that's not like getting a royalty. That's an actual channel. But we talked about it too in the context of the man's been in the room and he's bringing this civil rights case. Like you haven't moved in a way that makes me think that you have those kinds of assets. I don't see that in your portfolio, right? And I don't see you moving in a way to bring a challenge to or fight for a law that benefits ADOS. I don't see you doing that. See, it's not just about somebody being a billionaire. It's what you do when you're in that room with other people who have money and whether you tell the truth about they don't want us here. I ain't seen you do that, Kanye. Like Byron basically came out and was like, this is what they said to me. In terms of how they tried to negotiate me and box me out. That's a lens into what really happens. That's the thing with these social engineering people though. You don't want to tell me the truth about what happens when you get inside the room. Nah, you play your role as just a social engineering and I'm a this and I'm a that and it's good. And I'm gonna do what, Jay-Z, I'm gonna do what they asked me to do and I'm disappointed in Colin Kaepernick and the way he behaved. That's not what I want. Like that's not what I need. I need you to challenge all this stuff too. I thought when you were rich, you were free. You could challenge stuff and go to the Supreme Court and fight for stuff and do all kind of stuff. And then I need you to own an asset, not just this Adidas brand. Like, you go buy a channel too, or do something. Like, let's do some, like, let's make some moves and look at least billionaire-ish.